brand new episode. Just me this episode. No Tashi J or Justin this go around. Sorry, Justin. Sorry, Tashi. I wasn't even planning on doing this episode until I actually did the episode. We have a thought process episode this episode because I have nothing planned, but I wanted to be on a podcast. Hey, it works itself out that way sometimes, and sometimes that's just what you get. So I have been seeing a lot more podcasts that's been talking about whatever's on their mind. You know those little podcasts you hear where people have like the beginning segments of a show, and like it's a greetings, it's like, hey, how you been? Like, let's talk about some nerdy stuff, or we actually talk about the show. But like, I've been seeing more people like record that stuff and then like use that as a separate just throwaway episode, and like have like a whole full segment for a different episode. I think I may start doing that. I got Justin, I got Tashi J, I got some backup. I can just go willy-nilly, however I please. You know what I mean? So this is a good time to start doing that. I think I'm going to take full advantage of that. But as I am winding myself to that point, there's still got to be a show. There's still got to be some structure that we do in all of this. Right now, I don't have much, but I have heard some news about this new Black Panther show. Just heard about a new Black Panther animated show. It's called... And like I don't even want to get it wrong because I know myself. If you listen to the show, you know what I'm like too. I forget stuff. I say names wrong. Like Bidmani, the interviewee that I had like a while back. I'm very surprised I got her name correct. I thought I was gonna do it again. She said to me, to my face, well, hey, you know what? It's no problem. You get my name wrong. We're just gonna start over, and that'll be that. That's exactly what she said to me. It's like, yeah, all right, well, there you go. Yeah, all right. She has some patience, and she has standards. I appreciate that. That's good to hear. But yeah, Eyes of Wakanda is the Black Panther animated series. It's going to be taken off right after the MCU kind of situation. I've heard some rumors that Iron Fist is going to be a part of this. You know, Danny Rand. From the Netflix show, mind you. The same actor is supposed to be a part of this whole franchise. Like, I don't know how accurate that is. Don't quote me on that. But yeah, that's word on the grapevine. Is that the dude who played Danny Masters, or Danny Rand, he is the guy who is going to possibly have a cameo inside of this Black Panther's Eyes of Wakanda show. That's really, interesting in a sense. I mean, how do I put this? There weren't many people who liked the Iron Fist show. There just wasn't. I didn't watch it myself, so I don't have much to say now when it comes to that. But I know for a hard fact that a lot of folks did not like that show. It did not tickle their raspberries. You know what I mean? So it wasn't there for them. I've also been hearing about another thing that I'm going to be talking about here. Rebel Moon. There's a part 2 called The Scavenger. That is like the sequel to Rebel Moon. I know part 1's already out on Netflix. Not the best reviews. You know what? Let's see if we can pull up the actual reviews of this. Because I'm gonna go to Rotten Tomatoes, of course. That's like the best place to go for any kind of like review situation. So I'm gonna hit up Rebel Moon on Rotten Tomatoes, see what the score is. Because I don't want to put like any information out there that's not like, how do I put this? Adequate. There's a lot of Snyder Bros out there, so like a lot of them are gonna eat up his work no matter what he does. But here's your rating by Rotten Tomatoes of Rebel Moon Part 1, A Child of Fire. The tomato reader is 25%. I'm not shitting you. It's only 143 reviews, so take that how you will, but 25% is pretty damn low. And the audience score is out of 5,000 plus people is 63%. That's like what? A moderate F to some people. It's adequate. It can possibly be a D if you squint your eyes hard enough. You know what I mean? And like the scoring or rating of school and students. But yeah, Rebel Moon is not doing so hot like out there with folks. Just putting it out there. We have some new photographs of the Joker, Folly, A Deux, with Arthur Flick as Joker, played by Joaquin Phoenix. I had to think about his name for a second. And Lady Gaga as Harley Quinn, Dr. Harley Quinzel, in the new film that's coming out, which is going to be a musical. So there's that. What else we have? A massive public domain update. Not sure if you guys heard about this, but Mickey Mouse is now up for public domain. Now, before you get like, what? Are you serious? Before you get all like that, it's Steamboat Mickey. It's Steamboat Mickey. So it's a first iteration of Mickey Mouse, now open to the public. So when you see that new Grand Theft Auto 6 that comes out, and you possibly see a mod with Steamboat Mickey attached to it, now you know why. But yeah, that is that for all of that. We also have a new Doctor Who episode coming out soon. Something to look into, right? Really excited to see that. What else we have? We have Robert Eggers' Nosferatu. Got a few photographs dropped. It's not much. It's the end of the year. Not much to talk about. That's why you hear a lot of podcasts are taking a long hiatus because there's not much to talk about. I'm grasping at straws right now. But it's an update situation. I got to do blurred news of my minute variety, 1 minute news break. Something like that. Because I got to start doing that in 2024. Got to bring that back. If I could take a break from talking about all this and just talk about there's a lot going on in my life right now. A lot going on with my family and stuff like that, and it's taking a toll on me, a major one. My emotions are all over the place. I'm trying to keep doing my same process. I recently quit one of my jobs, so that's something to think about. Well, let go is probably a better word to say. I brought it on myself, if I'm going to be 100% honest. The whole thing is my own fault, but you know what? I felt betrayed, and I needed to go, so I did. But yeah, a lot's going on with me. I'm trying to keep it all together, keep myself sane. I have learned throughout my time that if you don't talk about it with people, it's going to drive you nuts, and your emotions are going to take over, and you're going to go to those evil thoughts that are in your head, and you're not going to move forward. And I'm still in my healing process stage, and I feel like I've been healing a lot. I've been casting out people who I don't need in my life, and I get that's a heavy bearing in itself. Casting out people who you think are a negative influence in your life, putting those people all to the side and not not letting them influence your mentality or your process or struggle. It's not easy. It's not an easy process. So I am doing what I can with what I have, but if I seem as if I'm not as attentive on the FTO pages, or if I seem as if I'm missing a lot of steps in my process of doing FTO. Now you have a good idea why. I'm not really here right now. I got into an accident in my car because I was focusing on something else and not the task at hand. And it's a lot to put on my plate when it comes to all this. But you know what? It's my plate. I gotta clean it off. It has to be done, and it's gonna get done. So this growing up thing is interesting. I just heard someone say on TikTok that we are the adults now. They are turning 32. They say we are the adults now. Something happens, something goes down. They're gonna come to us for the problems. We gotta fix it. But we look so young. A lot of us in our 40s and 30s, we have the young mentality because we got the nerd mentality, the 90s, 80s nerd mentality inside of our heads. Growing up is called adulting, so we don't take it very serious at times. So having all these these hurdles of life in front of you when you want to do something that's significant, or present yourself in a certain way, that's not really seen as an adult. And knowing that you are one, to this generation, it can be a bit perplexing. But it's 2023. We just left the 1900s, so all this kind of makes sense. I'm pretty sure this problem won't be here in 2021, in 21, 23. Probably it's a whole different problem going on. My guess, if I can put the guess out there, is going to be how gentle parenting and who will be around that era, 2020, 2020, 21, 23 era. Who will still be around? Probably myself. Probably either the Xennials like myself or the Millennials will still be around, aged. Of course, we're going to live to 170 now, so aged, for sure. I'm trying to think to myself, there's always that nexus of young and old and how those two intertwine with each other. Because there are some old people who still listen to young people and see what they're doing and try I wouldn't say imitate, but definitely process it, take it in. They don't walk around with canes and crutches. They don't hobble from room to room. They're still very active, very mobile. And in this era, they're probably in their late 70s, probably early 80s, probably running for president. But, there's still people who are still functioning, even though the world sees them as old and decrepit and, senile. And no different with the young. When people seem like as immature and unknowledgeable and just a nuisance at times. So, I always look at time in that spectrum, in the young and old spectrum, because that's really what matters. Like the people our age, like in the 40s, from like the 20s to like the 50s, people don't care about that because like those are the people who are working, those are the people who are running the cogs to keep the system going. Those are who are in their late 60s, early 70s, and under 10. Those are the people that I guess like under 16 really. Like those are the people who are starting to understand, and like in the far spectrum, those are who are ending their run. So it's always a cool take to see like where we came from and like how that looks toward like the end of their run, and like how it's going to begin for the next generation and what they're going to take from like the older generation and the generation that they are closer to. It's a fun thought. It just is. And on that note, since we are like at a 10-minute mark right now, let's take a little break and we'll be right back. Well then, that was fun. You got 2 times with the intro, and you heard me in the background on one of them. So that's that. Welcome back. This is D of FTN Nerd Talk. All right, that was interesting. I'm not sure what I did that. Jeez. All right, so we're gonna talk about some things to check out, new and notable shows. I'm not gonna get too hardcore into this. I'm not. I'm just gonna give you what it is, which is gonna be movies right now. Give you like maybe 5 of them. I'm not going to give you a synopsis. I'm going to give you like the Metacritic score of these things. I feel like I got to do a little bit more than just that. I got to do just a little bit more than just that. So here we go. Just a little bit more. Just a little edging of all this. I'm sure Justin's going to love that word I just used. Jeez. Anyways, this is things to check out. The fun part of the show where I tell you like all the things that are out that I personally want to check out, or you should definitely check out because I think it looks really interesting because I may look at it myself. So there you go. All of Strangers. This is from 20th Century Fox. It is a 90% rating. It is a must-see on Metacritic. It has Andrew Scott and Paul Mescal. Also has Jamie Bell and Claire Foy. Directed by Andrew Hine. It's I'm not reading the synopsis. It's a drama, fantasy, romance. I don't know where it's going to be on. I think it'll be in theaters. Well, seems like a theaters kind of situation. Because that's telling me any streaming platforms. Wow. A movie in theaters, All the Strangers. There you go. Next up is Ferrari. This is 73% on Metacritic. It is rated R, 2 hours long. Let's see what information I can give you on this. Let's see what information I got. It's a biography, drama. It's also history. It's about Enzo Ferrari. In this, his crisis, a bankruptcy struggle, and getting his company to where it was. It has Adam Driver, Shonali Woody, and it's directed by Michael Mann. Also has Penelope Cruz out of it. Well then, interesting. I almost watched that. Well, no, not almost. I wanted to watch that instead of watching the Aquaman movie, but you know what? I watched the Aquaman movie because, had to review it, had to talk about it, had to do a little screen. Should took a photograph while I was there. If I could give you guys like a little mini review of the Aquaman movie, I guess I should talk about that. Aquaman movie is also out. Came out this year. Rated PG-13. The runtime is... How long is this runtime? It's not long. It has a 43% rating on Metacritic, though. But, like, jeez. It's in theaters only. At least for now. It's a DC film, as most of you may already know. I liked it. Like, I liked it. I didn't like the Aquaman scenes. I'll be honest with that. Like, it's not that Jason Momoa wasn't good at what he does. I just didn't care. Like, I'm gonna be straight up honest with you guys. I just didn't give a rat's ass about anything Momoa was doing as Aquaman. I just didn't. And I tried. I really did. But it didn't do anything for me whatsoever. So, 43%, I get it. But Black Manta stole this show. The story was a little slow. Not so slow that like I couldn't get into it, but like slow enough that like it didn't really give enough bite to it. It felt like how Wonder Woman 2 was story wise, But the Black Manta aspect really kept it going. The history of Atlantis was pretty cool to see. It felt like the Kelly Sue DeConnick. It felt like after that actually, like after when Aquaman. If you read like the new Rebirth or what the hell is this called now? What is this run? Like is this a Rebirth? Because it's not Infinite Frontier. Yeah, I think it's still Rebirth. Like you read like the Rebirth Aquaman series before Infinite Frontier. It's a lot like that Aquaman, like where he's trapped in Atlantis and he's trying to understand the people of Atlantis, and like you get to see the politics and Zebel and all that stuff. It's a lot like that. It really is. It's like honestly a lot like that series, and I feel like they copied a lot of that and put it into this movie. Good job they did, because if it wasn't that, it would have been a little bit more boring. Because Aquaman's not the strongest character. He's like an Aquaman. He's like an Iron Man of DC Universe. Doesn't have the age of Aquaman, but Iron Man just has. I guess he's there. And he was a joke for a while too, so that's a whole different thing. The Color Purple is coming out. I think it's already out. It is highly rated currently, 70%. That's decent. Decently rated on Metacritic. 2023 came out, 2 hours and 20 minutes, and it's PG-13, and it's a musical. That's right, The Color Purple musical. I do think there's a reason why it's not called The Color Purple, the musical. I'm pretty sure there's a reason why it's not called that, because I would not watch a musical about The Color Purple. I'm not sure why Oprah thought it was a good idea to go a musical route with this. I just don't get it. But you know what? It's a very sad story. People to hear it. You want people to know about it. So like, if it's easy to digest when it's a musical, I get it. But yeah. And lastly, for movies to check out is Anyone But You. Rated R. 1 hour long. 1 hour and 43 minutes. It is a comedy romance. It has Sydney Sweeney, Glenn Powell, and Alexandria Shipp. It is directed by Will Guck. So, there's all that. That's the movies to check out, and see if I can find some TV shows for you guys to check out. I have been watching. What have I been watching TV show-wise? This is a good question. Because I've been checking out some stuff. I finally got to watch Jumanji again. It was just as good as the first time I watched it. I've been watching The Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime. Almost finished that. 2 episodes left. Been watching the Miracle Workers again. Catching up on that. I just finished The Bear, season 1 and 2. Just finished it. It's a lot better than I gave it credit for. I had to get over myself a little bit to start watching it. Like, everything I said bad about it, I take it all back. Bear is a really good thing to watch. Like, I definitely think you should probably check out The Bear. Don't watch it, like, weekly. Binge that shit. Like, watch it. I'm not saying, like, watch it all in one day. But, like when you got time to watch something on TV, put it on. And just watch it. Like, put your phone down and just watch it. Like, you don't even need your phone to watch this show. Like, you just watch it without your phone on. It flows really well. The story really flows into itself. It doesn't go hardcore into, like the death of the siblings, but it does show the effects of the people after these people are gone. And I feel like that's more important. It's like seeing the effect of like how all this is going out after these people are dead. And it makes sense why it goes like that. These people are not like the one person, like the main characters. Carmies, the bear, his daughter. We never get there to see how it's done, but you can definitely see in the show how he got pushed to that point. Like, the guy tries to be happy, but you can definitely see there's a lot of sadness inside of it. And John Bernthal does a great job of playing the brother who's passed. It's in 2 episodes, I believe, in season 1, and 1 episode in season 2. And, like, it's a good show. I was wrong. I really was. Okay, I know what I can tell. I can admit when I'm wrong. This is one of those times. I'm going to rapid fire these, because I feel like I'm taking the show on a little too long. But Percy Jackson had a 73%. We'll see what we got. Carol and the End of the World has a 73%. It's all TV shows, mind you. Yu Yu Hakusho has a 70%. I think that's on Netflix. Such Brave Girls has 72%. And lastly, Culprits came out December 8th. It's on Hulu. Has 56% on Metacritic. Those are your TV shows. Game, I feel like it's rude to even talk about these games, to be honest with you. There's a House Flipper 2, 79%. I don't know what that means. It's a house flipping game, but it has a high rating attached to it, so I don't know what to say about that. I just don't have no idea how to process any of that. Just don't. Grain Blue Fantasy versus. There. See, this is when you don't come prepared. Stuff like this happens. And you're just twiddling your thumbs the entire time trying to figure out how all this works. There we go. Grain Blue Fantasy versus Rising. This is on PS5. Came out December 14th. Rated T for teens. We got Pokemon Lego disc. That's out. Custom Mech Wars. And lastly, Banshin Knights has an 81%. And Pokemon has a 70%, and that Grain Blue has an 81% on Metacritic. Those are your games, TV shows, and movies. We are hitting like 20 minutes right now. I don't know how I feel about this show getting so elongated like this. But you know what? Let's take a break. Let's take a break. We'll come back, and we'll talk more. All right, we're back. A little 9-second break, not too bad. This is a part of the show where I just talk about whatever. It'd usually be the part I talk about comics, just like it just would be. But again, last of the year, I can see what's out there. I'm not gonna go hardcore into this. Like I'm just not. Like I probably should, but I'm not. I can talk about what's out there, the big names, but I'm not talking about like who did it. Sorry for you. Detective Comics 1080. Action Comics 2023 annual. We got the Immortal X-Men number 18. The Prowler is featuring with Miles Morales and Miles Morales Spider-Man issue number 14. And let's see if we can get one more to talk about. Ooh, look at that. That was two of these. I'm going to talk about two of these. Ghost Rider issue number 21. Came out December 27th of this year. It's $5. And you got Justice Society of America number 8. JSA with a Red Lantern ring on the front of it. This looks really interesting. All right, who is that? See, I want to open it so I can see who it is, but I know if I do, I'm gonna get like I'm gonna open it. I'm getting into it. I'm opening it. Here we go. Here's the synopsis. Justice Society number 8. As Huntress settles in the face to face with a long lost team, the Justice Society Dark. What did I just read? What I just read. Doing Society. Like, that doesn't even surprise me that Jeff Johns is writing Society. Janet, it was the artist. That does surprise me. And Jordan Blair is color. All right. They got Red Lantern, Ruby Skolvik, Jay Garrickson is, and so is Alan Scott. That's who the Red Lantern was. Red Lantern, Ruby Skolvik. Skovo. Skull Cove. That's what it is. Skull Cove. Oh, I got some characters. This is Helena Wayne Huntress. So this must be from Earth 2. Ooh. Hakeem Thunder, Salem the Witch Girl, Stargirl, Thunderbolt, Wayne, Jack Knight, wow. And this kid, Kyle Knight, along with Mr. Terrific and Red Lantern, Vladimir Skovol. Sokov. Vladimir Sokov. Good gods. So I don't know who those Sokovs are. They must be some new characters. I can't tell that. Let's see if we can find out these new characters or not. Can we find out first appearance 2022 Justice League America number 1. So yeah, they just made their appearance. They just showed up recently. They were just Red Lantern in Justice Society of America. Yeah, wow. All right then. So there you go. Those are your comics. This is what we talked about. I don't have anything to fill towards the end because I talked about it in the middle of the show, but it was fun to do an episode again. I just listened to the recent episode of Fukuname, and I think it's titled "No, It's Not Goku." I think that's what they call it. I think that's the name of the episode. And like, I listened to this episode. I haven't been getting too hardcore into like the Fukuname episodes of late, but they've been experimenting. It seems like. And I've been loving it, to be honest. Like the random things they've been putting out there, episode wise. They call it Fukapod Overtime, and this is episode 7 of their overtime. and it's called No, It's Not Gohan. No, it is not Gohan. Sorry, no, it is not Gohan. And this is pretty much talking about like all the characters of Dragon Ball Z. They talk about some other stuff like Jet Set Radio and Grand Theft Auto 6, all that stuff. But they talked about like primarily who's the strongest character in like the Dragon Ball universe right now. And that character right now, according to some of them on the podcast, is Vegeta. But some of them think it should probably be Gohan, so because he's peaked his level for Super Saiyanness. Like he can't really do any more transformations, but like his power just keeps going higher because like he's been unlocked. You know what I mean? So listening to that, listen to some Kara Swisher. The new X-Men podcast just came out. X-Men audio drama. So you got that. You got the Midnight Comics from Tachi J and Lloyd. So yeah, the X-Men season 4 audio drama is out right now. The first episode is called The Duel. Is Scott and Aurora going against each other to see who's going to be the leader of the X-Men, based off the Chris Claremont comic. It's good. It really is good. Like they know how to tell a story on that podcast, man. They just do. They just do. And I got into it big time. But yeah, that is the show. That's all I got for it. I don't even have a title for this episode. I really don't. Like, you know, the last episode of the year. Goodbye 2023. I guess that's the best way to go about it. Goodbye 2023. There we go. I hope you guys are doing well. Hope you're doing better than I am anyway. Keep those spirits going. If Lester Holt has taught me anything in the world, is take care of yourself and each other. You know, that dude does a lot of shows, and sometimes they are gut wrenching, and sometimes he is crying on those episodes. I'm not sure if you guys are watching the nightly news with Lester Holt or not, but it's a spectrum. And then I started watching all these other pundits, and they do this stuff like almost some of them do it every single day, and seeing it go out like that every single day is I gotta get to that status. I just do. But knowing the fact that like not all of them show up every single day, and they don't. They really don't. Like those pundits do not show up every episode. They get stand-ins a lot. Look at Andrew Lamas. Like, you know, Anthony Lamas, that his name? One on NBC now. But not, he's rarely there. Hallie Jackson, she's rarely there at times. You know, like she shows up when she needs to show up, but like she takes some days off when she wants to take some days off. So unless her Holt's no different. Like dude's like on vacation right now from his show. Like that, and like it took me a while to realize that. Like when you do stuff like this that are podcasts or TV related, like you gotta find a way to take those breaks and don't feel bad about it, because like that's your show. There are times they can go too far. Joshua Jackson from 1A, he had his own show on NBC. That dude took a lot of breaks, and his show is canceled now. And I don't know where the fuck he is right now. Like I'm pretty sure since I'm talking about him, he's gonna pop up in my sphere somewhere. But yeah, haven't seen him in a while. And like I fell in love with that dude during 1A. Then like Chuck Todd got a wind of him on his show one day on Meet the Press and got him a job at NBC. It seems like. So I do hope we see Joshua Jackson again. Like he's very inquisitive with his information, but I feel like the show he had just didn't know how to land. It felt like it felt like it wanted to be 1A too much, but it didn't know how to be. So hopefully we see him again. But watching these pundits, watching like the content creators do their things, like the burnout is real, and we gotta find like how like to navigate ourselves, like to keep our folks, our followers, our like machines going, but also take care of ourselves. It's not easy doing all that, but you gotta find that balance. And I feel like I know understanding is my word for 2024, but like find that balance is definitely something you gotta keep in mind for sure. So I am D. This is FTL Nerd Talk 2023. This has been fun. Not really. It's been a fucking year. That's your second swear to show. But it's been something. Had some ups and downs. Went to a lot of cons. Met a lot of new people. Had a lot of good memories. Even if it is like not going so well in the last few months or last few weeks of this year. So it's whatever. Life happens. You gotta just roll with it and just do what you gotta do. So until next time, take it easy.
Hey guys, D here of FTL Nerd Talk. I hope you enjoy the podcast. Make sure you like, subscribe, follow, tell your friends about FTL Nerd Talk. Got a lot of different shows for all of you. Make sure you tune in every week for a brand new episode. Take it easy.